So, real talk, nothing is worse than waking up in the morning, hopping into your car, driving around, and having no clue where you're going. I tell you what, if you started 2019, if you start any year, if you start any day without a plan, without some type of a map, you're literally just wasting time. It's like I look at people who kind of get up and they have ideas and they're like, oh, I'm doing some things, and it's like, okay, but what are you doing? And you're like, well, I want to be a star, and it's like, okay, but what are you doing today that directly takes you to that? I'm going to tell you this. A lot of times people think that getting to the goal or the destination 100% is about being amazing, being super awesome, being in the right place at the right time, having connections. Man, Tiffany Largie is here to tell you that is not how it happens. It has nothing to do with those things. You know what it has to do with? Working hard, consistent, but more importantly, having a plan, a map, an actual map. I want you to think about this. Imagine if I said to you right now, you know what? I talk about this in my book, and think about it. I'm in Los Angeles, and so I say, hey, let's head to New York, because New York is giving away an iPad, and to the first 10 million people, they're going to give away an iPad with your name engraved on it. And you're like, sure, Tiffany, let's go. This is amazing. So all of a sudden, you and I are in my kitchen. We run out to the car. We start driving. And you're like, Tiffany, perfect. I can totally get us to Manhattan because I've been there 20 times. My grandmother, she lives there, or she lived there. And more importantly, not only does she live there, but but I know how to get there. So I trust you. We both hop in the car, and like great friends, we just start driving. We're excited, we're thrilled, because the deadline, the thing says that we have to get there by next Wednesday. And we look at it, we're like, shit, we've got plenty of time. We've got 6-7 days to get there. It's a 36-hour drive. Man, we're gonna get there in record time. This is so exciting. But here's what's real. Here's what's true about this. You and I hopped in that car, we started driving, and we have been driving now for 24 plus hours. All of a sudden, I see a sign, and the sign says, welcome to Dallas. And I'm like, wait a second. Wait a flipping second. And I look over at you. We'll call you Anna. We'll call you Anna for the moment. So I look over at Anna, and I'm like, hey, Anna, what happened? I thought you knew where we were going. We're in Dallas right now. We're not going north. We started in Los Angeles. We should have seen Denver. We should have seen Utah. I know we should have seen some things, and somehow I'm seeing a sign that says, welcome to Dallas. You know what happens at that point? We have three options. We are either going to stop, pull over, go into a hotel because we're tired. 2, we're going to backtrack and try to redo our steps, right? And try to get back on track. And if it's not that, we have option number 3. We're going to stop and call it quits. But here's what's real about all 3 of these options. And all 3 of these options, baby, guess what happened? We done lost time. We lost money. We lost resources. We're now frustrated. We're a little bit pissed off. And there's a good chance we're going to miss the goal. You know what's crazy about this story? I flipping open the glove compartment and I see that we had a GPS in this thing. You had a GPS the whole time, Anna, and you didn't turn it on? Like, are you serious right now? Here's what's crazy. If we had just jumped in the car, turned on the GPS, and plugged in the address to where we were going, you know what would happen? Every move we made, every drive, every single left turn, right turn, everything, we would have been on track. We wouldn't have wasted any time. And yeah, we could have pulled over. Yeah, we could have gotten some water. Yeah, we could have, stopped to go and sightsee. Every day that you wake up and you don't have a clear map, a very clear map for where you're going. And I don't mean the next couple of steps. I mean the destination. You're wasting time and you're wasting money. You're wasting time and you're wasting money. I woke up this morning with this realization. In 2 weeks from now, Jada's going to be 16 years old. I want you to think about this. Jada, my heartbeat, is going to be 16 years old. 16 years ago, I was a single mom, just desperate to make some money. But I was more importantly desperate to stop putting these kids to bed hungry. Jada and I are 18 months apart. I'm going to tell you, I used to just walk around in circles. And not only was I walking around in circles, but I was just hoping and praying. I was like fingers crossed. You know what I mean? Like I was just hoping that things would work out. Game changer when I learned to operate my life with a map, not a plan. A plan basically tells you, oh, I hope it'll happen. Plans say I'm hoping which is why I'm not a big fan of vision boards. I don't mind boards that, like, I think, you know what I think I'm going to do for Onwards to Freedom? I think I'm going to do a destination board. You know, it's like a map tells you this is where I'm going, this is the destination, and here are the stops along the way. As you think about the year ahead, as you think about where you're going, as you think about your next 2 moves, 3 moves, 5 moves, can you honestly say that everything you did today, from the time you woke up to the time you're watching this at this moment, can you honestly with integrity say that every single move you made took you 1 centimeter closer to your goal? Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. You're either going to make this thing happen in 2 months or 2 years. I would rather do it in 2 months than in 2 years. Because life is too damn short. I got too much laughter to find. I got too much love to get myself involved in. And more importantly, there's too much of the world to see. Every time you get in the car, and every day you wake up and you walk into life, the second you get out of bed, the second you start your day, you're walking into your vehicle. And you're in the driver's seat. And if you don't have a map on you, you're in the passenger seat. If you're not operating with a map, you're in the passenger seat. I never want to be in the passenger seat of my life. I never want to be in the passenger seat in anything to do with my life. I didn't get any smarter 16 years ago. I didn't get a degree. I didn't do any of that stuff. I simply started to live my life with a map. I knew specifically, quantifiably where I wanted to be. And I'm not super goal oriented. I am not super systems, productivity hacked. No, I'm none of that stuff. I was just damn determined to make my dreams a reality. And I was so deadly afraid of them not becoming a reality. I wanted to waste no time. You know, over the last 10 plus years, I've probably generated myself and been responsible for probably more than $40 million worth of revenue. I have had the luxury of working with people all over the country. I now live in Los Angeles, and I adore my life. I adore it, but it's not because I drive 10 Bentleys or I live in a house in Beverly Hills. No. I mean, I live in a house very close to Beverly Hills, but that stuff don't fascinate me. It's because when I say, man, I want to do X, I can do it. Right now, as I'm doing this, my children are inside of the #1 dance studio in the country. And one of my daughters has a dream of being able to she dances everything for her. And I'm like, man, my mom, amazing human being. If only I had the ability to dream like my children have the ability to dream. My children can dream in the craziest way right now, and I can do it simply because I run my life with a map. So all of this is to say, if you do not have a map, if you are operating every day and you don't know specifically what you're doing by the day, actually, let me shift that. If you don't know what you're doing by the hour, by the day, that leads to the week, that goes to the month, that goes to this year, then you got to get yourself a map. I don't care how you get one. You got to get yourself a map. And if you don't have one, let me know. I will help you get a map. Someone on my team, one of my team members, my team and I know exactly what we're doing by the day, specifically what the goals are, and more importantly, what we're driving towards, so that way we don't waste no time. My family, we are getting together our map. My children have their map. Like, I gotta tell you, this map thing is big, which is why on Monday, I decided to do what I did for our clients in Onwards to Freedom. I did a planning session. This was not part of their coaching program or none of that. I literally just said, you know what? I am going to do a planning session for them. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to do a planning session for people who are not involved in our community. Simply because if you could just keep this thing simple, and I'm not talking about a 6-month marketing calendar. I'm talking about a realistic map. A realistic map that allows you to make decisions and say, okay, this is exactly where I'm going. This is how I'm going to get there. And more importantly, this is what I need. Because if I didn't have that map, there's no way I could function. The reality is that I live a crazy busy life. I have 3 children, 1 in high school, 1 in middle school, and 1 in elementary school. I am married to a man today that is on stage every other minute. He's on stage all the time. We run a busy life. We run 2 companies. We actually run more than 2 companies. We have clients around the world. We work in multiple time zones. Like, my life is busy. I don't have time to waste. And more importantly, I still got a lot of friends and people that I want to love on. And I got a community called Onwards to Freedom that I adore. And every second that I get to spend just joking around with them and having fun and swapping funny GIFs, yeah, that's a real word today, and swapping funny things and memes, like, that's everything for me. Every time that I get to pop up another bottle of wine and just talk, my God, there's nothing more better. I don't want to waste time on things that don't matter, which is why I don't want you to waste any more time in 2019. It's just that simple. So somewhere there's going to be a link somewhere where you can plug into this training that I'm doing. I'm going to keep this thing so stupidly simple, and I'm literally just going to give you the map that we have and that we're using so that you too can have a killer year. Because I tell you what, the people who get there is not the have and have nots. I have not still gotten a college degree. I've still never been in the right place at the right time. I still don't have a rich uncle. I've never gotten an inheritance. I didn't luck out. I have none of those stories in my back pocket. And if I can build a multiple 6-figure business and then a multiple 7-figure business, shit, if I can do it as a Black woman, I feel like anybody can do it. That is the honest to God truth. And I mean that. I totally mean that. And yes, I absolutely said it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. It is really a matter of what you're willing to do versus what you're not willing to do. The world is not divided by the have and the have-nots. I tell my community all the time. The world is totally divided by the will and the will not. What are you willing to do? Step number 1 is you need yourself a map. And this month, hands down, I'm spending every waking moment reevaluating our map, massaging our map, talking about our map, asking questions about our map, thinking about our map, because I want to make sure that there's no way we miss our goals for 2019 and 2020. Because right now, my map takes me a couple years into the future. Man, damn it, if you're going to dream, you better dream. You better not dream small. And that's number 1. And I guess number 2, I'm either going to do the damn thing or I'm going to do the damn thing. I think that's how this story goes. So I'd love for you to join us. I cannot wait to hear. If we can serve you in any way, please let us know. But more importantly, if you're already got a map, I'd love to know, where are you headed? Literally, where are you headed? I'd love to know. I'd love to know, and then I'll tell you where we're headed here in Onwards to Freedom. Bye.